Unlock your dream property with Meeks Realty Group, where Rich the Realtor makes real estate dreams a reality. Whether it's residential or commercial, we've got Charleston to Huntington covered. Your key to exceptional real estate experiences start here. Meeks Realty Group. Contact us at meeks.us.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
And a good Thursday morning to you. Welcome to the show. Ryan Nicholson is our producer today. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor, text 304-935-5008. Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you by Thornhill Auto Group, including Thornhill Toyota. The Toyota Tacoma is your MVP, the most versatile pickup. Head to the road to total savings, US 119 in Chapmanville, or visit ThornhillToyotaWV.com. And we do the show from the Par-Mar Store studio. If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. Phone calls to the show, a service of Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly, Spring Street, and texting services provided by West Virginia's finest men's store, Tony the Taylor, Virginia Street in Charleston. Visit BestMasterTaylor.com. One step closer to your weekend. Loaded up show this morning. Coming up a little bit later on, there is an effort by several downtown Charleston area restaurants to try to aid hurricane victims in the Carolinas and down south. We're going to get into that. Plus, on Saturday, a real big event, a veteran outreach event is happening in Nitro. Jim Lewis with the West Virginia Department of Veterans Affairs is going to join us to talk about that. Plus, Kanawha County Commission President Lance Wheeler is here as well. But let's turn our attention now to Senator Shelley Moore Capito, who's in studio with us this morning. Senator, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Nice to be here.
Thank you for being here. And so you got a lot of events planned around the area today. I mean, all over the state, but specifically in Charleston today.
We do. We have yesterday had a great visit in Morgantown at WVU with the Archivist of the United States to talk about archiving records and preserving our history. That was really good. Today, we're just going to be moving around, going over to a school later on, and then we're going to see Green Power and see them at their manufacturing site while they turn over the keys, I believe, to a school bus to one of our school superintendents. And on and on. So lots going on.
Always great to be back in West Virginia, is it not?
Oh, it's so nice.
Especially this time of year, too.
Yeah, and just the tension level goes way down. I left Washington on Friday for they let us out for campaigning, and a lot of people are campaigning. I don't have a campaign this year, so I'm doing a little bit of that for other people, but also just moving around the state. Going to be in southern West Virginia later on in the month, all around, Wheeling, everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Senator, the whole world is watching the events overseas with the Iranian attack on Israel. Give us your overall thoughts on the whole situation.
Well, I have been and will continue to be a steadfast supporter of Israel. I feel that Israel is the lone democracy, the friend and ally of the United States. And what we saw happen on October the 7th, and that's coming up, the one-year anniversary of that horrible day is coming up very shortly. To see the brutal attack on and killing of over 1,000 Jews and others, Americans and others, nationals, also a lot of sexual violence that is just appalling, hard to even imagine or even read about. And then you have this global conflict of Hezbollah launching thousands of missiles into northern Israel, which has displaced 80,000 or more Israelis into the southern. I mean, if you've ever been to Israel, and many West Virginians have, it's a very small country. And so I think Israel has the right to protect itself, and I'm going to defend their right to retaliate and for their right to try to strive for peace and tranquility there to end the terrorist attacks that are just constant in that country. And that's what my position is and will always be.
Talking with Senator Shelley Moore Capito in studio this morning. Senator, there was a report that came out earlier this week about, shall we say, some of the shortcomings that occurred by the Secret Service on the date that former President Trump survived the assassination attempt in July. You sent a letter earlier this week. Talk about the letter that you sent in. And basically, it was about beefing up technology and just doing a better job overall. Talk about that.
It's really amazing to me that I even have to write a letter to call attention to the Secret Service and the Department of Homeland Security about how important coordinated communications are between locals and state security entities with the Secret Service during a presidential or a former president visit. I mean, we've had presidential visits here in West Virginia, numerous. I mean, George Bush came here many, many times, and President Trump came. And I've experienced that, and my staff has too, to try to make it as safe as possible. And to think at the shortcomings that it looks like the Keystone Cops. I mean, they weren't even talking to one another. They spotted somebody on the roof. The locals did. They couldn't even get the message to the Secret Service. The Secret Service then decides, well, they hear somebody suspicious. He's got a rangefinder. He's on the top of the roof. Well, we're not going to pull President Trump off the stage. We don't really think it warrants that. We had a drone. We didn't know how to use it. We called the 1-800 number. I mean, I was
just
appalled.
We called the 1-800 number.
Yes. to try to figure out how to work the drone when this guy who was the shooter had already flown a drone over the area 2 or 3 hours before. And it just
go get a 7-year-old kid out of the crowd and have them explain it to you.
Exactly,
that'd be the thing to do.
Exactly, they know how to do all that. So I think my message to them in my letter was to basically say there's technologies out there to get communication channels. You don't have to rely on texts. Sometimes texts aren't reliable; they come through later. And so don't rely on texts. Do the old-fashioned way. Get the highest technology possible through what's available. And so that was my plea to them. This should never happen again. I mean, they should be embarrassed. I'm sure they are. Some people have lost their jobs over it and should. And I think what we have to remember with President Trump in particular is there are forces out there who really do want to end his life. And I think that's the stark reality here. And to deny beefed up security for President Trump, I think is another black mark on the performance of the Secret Service and honestly President Biden, because they asked for beefed up security in that particular instance and were denied it. Well, you can see that was a bad decision.
Talking again with Senator Shelley Moore Capito, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Meeks Realty Group. As a locally owned real estate powerhouse, they specialize in residential and commercial properties, proving no property too big or too small for their expertise. With a team of the finest realtors in the business, they are your trusted partner in finding your dream home or making that savvy commercial investment. Give them a call, 304-401-1101, or visit Meeks.us. Just a couple of weeks from the election. As you said, you are not campaigning this time around, but I know you're keeping an eye on all the races, but particularly the race for the White House. So we thought it was going to be Biden v. Trump. Turns out it's going to be Harris v. Trump. Your thoughts?
Well, when I look back to June, the whole discussion was 10 million people here illegally under Biden's watch. How could he possibly do that? That's still a big topic, and that's still a very legitimate question that should be asked, and they have no answer to. But we thought it was going to be Biden. Then we have the debate. All of a sudden, it's pretty evident he can't serve another 4 years. So then it changes that. Then President Trump gets shot. Then Israel and Hezbollah engage in aggressive actions, missiles and such. I mean, the news cycle, I mean, you're doing it all the time, is so short that we don't know what's going to happen. People keep talking about October surprise. Well, yesterday, Jack Smith, I think, politically drops on Trump's head his dossier of wrongdoings in the court case. I don't think there's any mistake in that. That was dropped on Tuesday after Senator Vance just basically, I think, performed magnificently in his debate. So that was good news for the Trump campaign. Jack Smith comes in with this political, I think, Department of Justice move. So I think every day is going to be different. I think it's going to be so close. I don't think anybody's going to call it until the very end, even if they do. I mean, you see the averages move back and forth. West Virginia will go big for President Trump. We know that.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that is a tribute to the policies that the president had when he was in office.
Are you concerned about the outcome of the election? Obviously, you're concerned about it because, being a senator representing West Virginia and serving in Washington. But if the election is as close as many pundits are saying that it will be, possibly the closest election in U.S. history, how concerned are you that whichever side is the losing side may not take it so well?
Well, I think that is an area of concern, but I think, in my view, we've done a lot to make our elections more secure following 2020. 2020 was an exceptional year because we were right in the middle of COVID. There were a lot more remote. There was a lot more on-the-fly kind of election provisions in several states, and there were some questions. But I believe that our elections are very secure. I believe in West Virginia we have excellent election protocols to secure our elections and our ballots. And I want people to have faith in the system. And I'm hoping that the two major candidates will, at the end of the day, accept the results and let us move on to governing. We have so many things on our plate that we really need to have faith in the eventual winner.
Final thing I want to bring up. Last week, I think it was last week, we reported out that you attended the naturalization ceremonies here in Charleston. That's I've never seen one of those in person, but I've seen our coverage of it in the other TV stations and whatnot. It's a pretty cool thing to see, is it not?
It's very cool. 55 people who have been in the country for some of them long periods of time, pledging allegiance to the United States, pledging allegiance to serve the United States if needed, either in military community service. Bright, smiling faces of families from all over the world. And it really is. If you ever get a chance to go to one, you ought to do it because it's a very patriotic event. I want to thank Judge Falk. He invited me to come down and be the speaker. And I told them, I said, now that you're an American citizen and a West Virginian, you're required to do one thing. No matter where you travel in the world, you have to sing Country Roads.
I was going to say, you have to learn Country Roads, right?
They know it. They laughed.
Senator Shelley Moore Capito, appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thanks for what you do. You keep us all informed. We love it.
Well, we try. I appreciate you being here. 9:18, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, presented in part by General Hardware of Winfield and Milton and General Lumber of Winfield. All projects big and small. Shop locally. Visit generalhardwarewv.com. Back after this with Kanawha County Commission President Lance Wheeler. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses have been creating jobs in West Virginia since 1997.
Dreaming of updating your home's interior? Let the expert design team at Nitro Carpet and Design Center bring your vision to life. Whether you're looking to revamp your kitchen or bathroom with new cabinets, countertops, and appliances, or you're interested in transforming your floors with updated carpet, tile, hardwood, or luxury vinyl tile, Nitro Carpet Outlet has everything you need. For sales and installation, visit Nitro Carpet today and see how they can help turn your home into a showstopper that'll impress your friends and family. Conveniently located just off the Cross Lanes exit.
As retirement approaches, are you confident in your financial plan? At 4th Avenue Financial, they specialize in helping you to prepare for this important milestone. Whether you're concerned about income, investments, or leaving a legacy, John Burnett provides personalized strategies to ensure a secure and fulfilling retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Trust 4th Avenue Financial to help you retire right with confidence. Your financial goals, their expert guidance. Visit them today at 4thavenuefinancial.com.
Securities offered through Jenny B. Co. Financial Incorporated. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Jenny B. Co. Advisors Incorporated.
Calling all sports fans this season, the Toyota Tacoma is your MVP. Most versatile pickup. Hey, it's Sydney. And whether you're hauling gear or heading out for a weekend adventure, the all-new 2024 Toyota Tacoma has you covered. Ready to win? Drive off in a new Toyota Tacoma today with rates as low as 4.99% APR. It's game time at the new Thornhill Toyota. Your new Tacoma is waiting on the road to total savings. US 119 in Chapmanville and ThornhillToyotaWV.com. Every fan, every team, every season, go Thornhill. Let's qualify for all offers through Toyota Financial. See Thornhill for full details.
(921) Vaccines are your best protection against severe disease from flu and COVID-19. If you're 65 or older, risk less and do more with this season's vaccines. Get started at vaccines.gov, paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. 921 now. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Don't even Taylor text 304-935-5008. Hoppy Kercheval Coming up at 10:06 with Metro News Talk Line, Senate Finance Chair Eric Tarr on the show this morning. Also more on some very troubling allegations, and Senator Capito actually kind of referenced those being made against former President Trump as it pertains to the 2020 election. Hoppy will get into that with John Decker of Gray Television. Ryan Schmelz and Jonathan Savage from Fox News Radio are on this morning as well. Talk Line with Hoppy coming up at 10:06 from the Encova Insurance Studios in the Dale Miller Building in Morgantown. Let me bring in Kanawha County Commission President Lance Wheeler. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Dave. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Thanks a lot for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So we're getting ready, I guess, for this final county-wide cleanup tomorrow. This is the final one on the schedule. Cabin Creek behind Gomar. Is that right?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
So first off, it's been extremely successful this fall with our county cleanups, and I think a lot of that's due to the marketing that we've been doing, making sure we get the information out to everyone in Kanawha County. So I want to thank you, this station, and all the other stations too, who've been covering these and getting the word out that we're going to have these with the dates and times. This weekend's going to be our last one. And so if you've missed the last two, whether that's because a WVU game was on or maybe just things came up on a Saturday, we get it. But this is the last one, and usually this is when we see the most people come out because of a little bit of that procrastination. But being in Cabin Creek, I think we see a lot of people come out as well because they just have a difficult time trying to get rid of the debris, getting rid of the tires and the appliances, things like that. It's a little bit more difficult for those in the unincorporated areas, and that's why we hold these in those areas. So we're going to have it this Saturday right behind the Go Mart there in Cabin Creek. Come early. It's going to start at 8 a.m. It's going to go all the way to 4 p.m. If you're in line at 3:50, we're not going to turn you away. Mm-hmm. So you can get there at 3:50. We're going to make sure we take care of everyone. We're going to accept anything from metals to air conditioner units to boats. You know, I've said that many times. We actually had somebody come to one of ours and actually dropped off a boat. We took care of it.
I remember you told me that last time you were here.
Yeah, and so we're going to do everything we can. And the reason we do this is because we want to make sure that this debris doesn't end up in our culverts, doesn't end up in our rivers, doesn't end up in undeveloped lands. This is just to take care of our environment and also make sure we take care of our constituents, giving them an opportunity to get rid of this debris.
And even though this one, just like with the other ones, Commissioner, this one is being held in Cabin Creek, but people can come from anywhere in Kanawha County and drop off the stuff. That's just where you happen to be setting up shop. But people can come from other areas if they miss, as you said, if they miss some of the other ones.
Yeah, we try to spread it out. As you've seen, we've been at Elkview, we've been at South Charleston. This is going to be at Cabin Creek. We try to spread it out to make it a little bit more convenient. Kanawha County is a large county, 911 square miles. And so we try to spread it out. But what we want to make sure we do is get the word out that you can come to any of these. This one's going to be in Cabin Creek. We're going to start this again in the spring. And so we're going to continue to do these. We've done this for a long time. They're very popular. We get a lot of people who thank us for doing that. And, getting a thank you in government is always a good thing. And so being able to offer these, it's good, again, for the environment. It's good for the people. And I can say the one thing we always talk about a lot is tires, right? Mm-hmm. It's hard to dispose of a tire. Well, we're proud that we sponsored with DEP here in the state of West Virginia. They come out, they're able to collect the tires. And of the last two that we've held, Dave, just this fall, we've collected over 3,800 tires.
That's amazing.
And those are 3,800 tires. It's not going to be in our culverts and our rivers. Mm-hmm. And, you see these messages in Facebook posts all the time, people saying there's a tire here or there's trash here. We want to make sure that we prevent that from ever happening.
And there's no reason not to. Again, you take just about anything. As we've said when you've been on here before, Commissioner, it's easier to tell you what you don't take. No gas or propane tanks, no hazardous waste, paints, chemicals, motor oil. But other than that, as you said, somebody gave a boat.
Yeah.
Once before, somebody brought a boat.
We've had people, and I've mentioned it before, I think it's important because a lot of times you think, I have an air conditioner unit, it has Freon in it, I can't dispose of that. We have a company that a vendor that comes in, and they will remove the Freon from the condenser unit so that way we can properly recycle it. This is how much this goes into. We've got a vendor who comes in just for electronics. You've got a TV that's sitting in the garage, it's got a crack on it, that you just hard to get rid of.
Right.
You can bring it in, and what we do is we don't just dispose of it. We properly recycle it and make sure that it's taken care of, and it's not sitting in a landfill.
And compare and contrast these cleanups that you've had with maybe ones in the past. Have these been the biggest ones you've had so far? Or will I guess, once you get through this one?
Yeah, of the last two, this is a record-breaking turnout. And again, I think that's because, Commissioner Salango, Commissioner Slotnick, and myself have diligently this fall been making sure we're going out, coming on the radio, going on TV, doing social media, really trying to spread that message, because there's a lot of people, even though we've been doing this for a very, very long time, a lot of people still didn't know, or they forget. And so we want to make sure we remind people. And again, I think this weekend is going to be the largest that we've probably ever seen for this for Cabin Creek. And so we're going to start at 8 a.m. Usually there's a long line starting at 8 a.m., but we're going to encourage everyone to get there as soon as possible so the way we can get everybody in and out throughout the day.
Talking with Kanawha County Commission President Lance Wheeler, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Live Healthy West Virginia, presented by WVU Medicine. Live Healthy tackles pressing health issues. It's a podcast offering insights into medical breakthroughs and preventative care, featuring WVU Medicine's expert physicians aimed at fostering healthier lifestyles in and beyond the state. It's a valuable resource for all. Check out the latest episodes on WVMetronews.com under the podcast menu and start your journey towards better health today. We'll circle back a little bit later on and talk about, and we'll give the people the information again as we close. But as I couldn't help it over here, as Senator Capito was leaving the studio and you were coming in, you passed in the hall, first thing you said to her after your good morning greetings was, "We got to get you out on the Hatfield-McCoy Trail over in Tornado." Yeah. And I know, having known Senator Capito for a long time, she's the type that will take you up on that. So you're obviously very proud of the work that's gone into the Hatfield-McCoy Trail.
Yeah, well, I'm very proud of the work that we've done, and I'm very proud to share that with everyone. The thing about Senator Shelley Moore Capito is that she gets it when it comes to tourism. She understands that we at West Virginia have a gem with our outdoor recreation. I mean, she's the one that fought to make sure that we had a national park right here in West Virginia. And so she understands that. She's a supporter of it. We actually asked assistance from her on looking at some renovations at Coonskin Park, and she's been on the phone with us, her and her office, fighting for Kanawha County, fighting for outdoor recreation, fighting for our parks. And so I want to make sure that that is known, that she is a fighter for us. I'm proud to stand with her and making sure and being able to work with her, and that we can do that for tourism. But we've seen even more growth since I last talked to you about the Hatfield-McCoy trails. The trails, I was told just the week prior on a Saturday, we had over 100 riders come out just for that day. Right. And these are not just people from St. Albans, Nitro, right, Charleston, Eastern Kanawha County. These are people from throughout the state and outside the state. We had a group of people from Kentucky who drove in one day just to be here. We're getting interest from developers. They're starting to call a lot of the Charleston Area Alliance, my office, our CVB, and we're trying to make sure that we work with them because they're interested. They see the impact on this and the development that can come from it. And not only is that hard-earned dollars spent right here on our local businesses, our mom and pop shops, our restaurants, our hotels, our gas stations, but this is also jobs that can be created. And so we haven't really even marketed this yet. We're still working on that because we're coming outside that season. We're going to get ready in the spring. But right now, we're looking at a lot of people, a lot of people coming in and developers coming in. So we're going to see a huge influx of money coming in from this Hatfield-McCoy. We're going to see it with the Capitol Sports Complex. We're going to see it with Shawnee, the amount of work that we're putting in there. We are really working together, and a lot of that is the work with Commissioner Salango, Commissioner Slotnick, and myself, really understanding that Kanawha County can be a county of tourism, something that was thought of that's not possible. We're the Chemical Valley, we're the seat of government. No, we believe that tourism can be one of those main factors when it comes to our economy, and we're starting to see that.
Yeah, indeed, and I can tell you, as you and I've talked in the past about being from Southern West Virginia, the Hatfield-McCoy Trail has been a thing in Logan, Mingo, Boone, on down McDowell County for the last well over 20 years. And one of the biggest problems that they've had down there with the trail is that there's just not enough places for people to stay. And matter of fact, Jeff Lusk, I've talked to Jeff, the director of the trail, several times. That's probably the biggest issue that they have, is that they just don't have enough places for people to stay. And these people that come in to ride the trails, now, as you said, this is a very expensive sport, that these guys and gals do. They travel from all over. But, generally speaking, they're caked in mud at the end of the day. You don't need to give them the Greenbrier necessarily. Although maybe you could get the Greenbrier. But anyway, it's another story. So you just need a place for them to stay. A bed and breakfast, a simple motel. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be top of the line stuff here.
Yeah, Hatfield McCoy told me that. They said the one thing that they do struggle with when they look at Southern West Virginia is the infrastructure that can exist to have that influx of tourism. Now, look how great that's been for them. And they're still working on that infrastructure, getting developers to come in, have those cabins, have those RV hookups. Look how great that's been for them. We're now talking about Hatfield McCoy being in Kanawha County and the influx that's going to come in from those riders just to Kanawha County. And that infrastructure is already there. We're not talking about bringing new restaurants. We're talking about supporting existing restaurants that are already able to be self-sustainable on their own from the locals and everything else. And now we're increasing the numbers that they're going to be able to see. So we're already ahead of the game when it comes to Hatfield McCoy being in Kanawha County. We have that infrastructure. We have a lot of interest of people coming in even more. So I think that that's going to be the key point. And that's why I was so excited that I knew if we could get Hatfield McCoy here, where we already have the hotels, we already have the restaurants, we already have the infrastructure for roads and interstates. This is an easy, accessible idea that, hey, we can market this to people to say, we want you to come to Kanawha County, not just for the Hatfield McCoy trails and dirt bikes, but for everything else we offer, whether it's regatta, whether it's Lav on the Levee, whether it's going to a national park. You could make a trip to Kanawha County and make an entire vacation out of it around the dirt bike trails.
And again, those of us that are here, and I've talked about my experience down south, we just kind of overlook it. We just think, oh, okay, they're mountains. It's a lot bigger deal. In many cases, Commissioner, it's a lot bigger deal to people away from here than it is in here. It's kind of like when you think about the beach. If they live right on the beach or 10 miles from the beach, they may not necessarily think it's a big deal. Yeah. But West Virginians think it's a huge deal, and we go there every year. The same with things like the Hatfield McCoy Trail and these other things we have. It's a major deal, and it's an economic driver.
Yeah,
Commissioner.
Yeah, we haven't. Again, I mentioned we haven't marketed this. This is all organic. This is just from Facebook posts from Hatfield McCoy saying we've opened a new trail for dirt bikes, and we're already seeing massive amount of people coming all across the nation. I said this before, but I think this is important so we can see the success. Right when we opened, we had a RV of a family of 4 drive from New York just for this trail system. We had somebody fly. We had an influencer from Colorado.
An influencer, Commissioner.
Influencer. He has an Instagram, so he's an influencer. It's more than me.
I know.
He flew in from Colorado just to ride this trail system. He flew his bike.
I was going to say,
himself.
How did he get the bike here?
He flew everything. He had everything delivered here. So he was able to come here. And that's the interest of this. Somebody from Colorado who is a influencer and an avid rider saw this trail system and thought, I have to go ride that as soon as possible. He came in on his own dime, rode the system. It's on YouTube. It's great. And so we've had a lot of those people coming in with their GoPros and showing the trails. And the same thing they say, it's exciting. And it's sometimes some of those trails can be difficult. So it's great for all ages. It's great for all riders. If you are an avid rider and you like that trail system, you're going up a slope on a rocky terrain, you're going to love this. If you like to kind of just coast around a little bit and just enjoy the scenery, you're going to love this trail. This is the perfect trail system in the nation for dirt bikers, and we're proud to have it here in Kanawha County, and we're going to be proud to market it.
What else is on your mind? What else have you been working on here lately?
Well, we're still working on the opioid settlement money. We've been talking about this for a while. As you all know, the state through Patrick Morrissey, our Attorney General, was able to obtain $1 million in the settlement for the negative impact that West Virginia had felt from the opioid problem that we've had for decades. At this time, the Kanawha County Commission has about $900,000 still sitting. We've been giving it out. Just on Tuesday, we gave $250,000 to Goodwill to help them with their their program, where they're going to be looking at people who are needing job training coming out of addiction. And so that's the key part of this. It's not just about treatment, right? This is about treatment, this is about prevention, and this is about helping those people who have received that treatment, because addiction doesn't go away. You don't just get rid of addiction. You're going to be struggling with this for a long time. We gave $250,000 to Union Mission, and what they told me was they have a statistic that showed that if you can have somebody go through treatment and be clean for 5 years, now it seems like a long time, but 5 years, you have a 90% chance of success rate that individual will never fall back on the wagon ever again. And I think that's important that we have those numbers, because we need to now know it's not just about getting somebody treatment and getting them help. It's about helping them through that long period for 5 years and making sure that we don't have this problem ever rear its ugly head ever again.
Kanawha County Commission President Lance Wheeler. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show, man. Thanks a lot.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And you were getting a little choked up there, and I texted out front and I said, "Can we get you some water?" It's that's like $2 a bottle, so you can put that on the.
Put it on my tab. I have a 3-year-old and a 5-month-old at home. I'm not surprised.
All right, 24 minutes away from 10. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you by Hudson's Pizza. This month at your favorite Hudson's, get a large 18-inch pepperoni pizza and an 8-inch chocolate chip cookie, only $23.99. We're going to take a break. A big event going on in Nitro on Saturday. It's a Veterans Outreach event. We're going to talk about that. Plus, we've all seen the devastation that's happened because of the hurricane last week, particularly in Western Carolina, with some restaurants here in Charleston want to do something about that, and several of them have kind of teamed up for a collaborative effort. We're going to talk about that coming up a little bit later on. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses are small businesses with big impact, including Generations Physical Therapy and Snap Fitness.
Welcome to Poca Valley, where we've been in business since 1908. Today, we serve Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties. We believe you deserve banking that provides friendly customer service. For all of your financial needs, stop by one of our 8 convenient locations. Call us at 844-782-2651 or visit us online at PocaValleyBank.com. Poca Valley, where relationships matter.
Member FDIC.
Summer is here, and if you're looking to replace that old worn-out car with a reliable and stylish ride without breaking the bank, then you need to get over to Walker Chevrolet in Nitro. Walker Chevrolet is stocked right now with inventory, both new and used, and they have the car, truck, or SUV that you've been looking for. And you know that you're going to get the best deal possible at Walker because Gene and Ryan built their business the old-fashioned way by making friends. There are no gimmicks or games here, just honest, fair deals, and if you have a car that you want to get rid of, don't forget, Walker Chevrolet is still buying cars too. Yeah, that's right. All makes and models are welcome at Walker, and they're going to give you top dollar for it, even if you plan to buy somewhere else. This summer, the car and the deal that you've been waiting for is waiting for you right now at Walker Chevrolet in the shadow of the Interstate Bridge, just off the Nitro exit of I-64. Walker Chevrolet, making friends one deal at a time.
When something happens to your kitchen, you might say,
"This is ludicrous."
But that won't fix your home. That will only get you the rapper, Ludacris.
Having trouble? Don't panic. Don't be alarmed. You need to file a claim? Holla at State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's right. You can file a claim on the app or call us.
Thanks, Mr. Chris.
No matter how ludicrous the situation, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
21 minutes away from 10. Ryan Nicholson, our producer today. Bigly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Taylor text 304-935-5008. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan. With more than $20 billion recovered, they believe that when you're injured, you deserve more. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Let me hit a couple texts here before we go to our next guest. Text says, you brought in Senator Capito to go through the Republicans' talking points greatest hits. That's about all she's good for as a politician. Well, that wasn't nice. Programming note. I will be away from the show tomorrow. I've got some business stuffs to take care of, so I will not be here tomorrow. Dale Cooper will be on the show tomorrow. Of course, Coop and Chris Lawrence, along with Tom Bragg, will preview high school football, as always on Friday night. Our sister station, 96.1 KWS, has coverage of Herbert Hoover, and here at WCHS, we have coverage of Hurricanes. So Chris, Tom, and Coop will preview those games. Hannah Gardner will be here tomorrow from the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association with our Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week. State Democratic Party Chair and Delegate Mike Pushkin is on the show tomorrow as well. I will be back on the show on Monday. Text says, I bet Shelley will go along with non-certification if Trump loses. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Bridge Valley. Interested in improving your company's IT workforce? Know that Bridge Valley offers custom-tailored IT training to bridge the skills gap. At Bridge Valley, train for little or no cost, 50-50 salary match. They can also supply skilled graduates and apprenticeships for your company. Visit bridgevalley.edu/apprenticeships today. You know, I have a soft spot for veterans. So anytime that I can talk about anything relating to veterans, I'm all about it. Saturday in Nitro from 10 to 1, there's going to be a Veterans Outreach Program. Now, it's set up in Nitro between 21st and 19th Streets. Jim Lewis is the regional supervisor with the West Virginia Department of Veterans Assistance, and he joins us now. Jim, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. So tell us what's going on in Nitro Saturday. Tell us about it.
Well, it's just basically an information fair. So far, I have 22 vendors that are showing up to shop their wares for the veteran community. It's free to all veterans. Like you said, it's from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock. It's at Living Memorial Park in Nitro.
Mm-hmm.
Come on out. Bring your questions. The VAMC will be there. The mobile clinic will be there from the VAMC in Huntington. Our department will be there answering any questions about benefits, monetary benefits from the regional office. Make us stay late.
Yeah.
Scheduled 10 to 1.
Yeah. You want to say to 1:30 or 2 to get all the questions answered.
Hey.
When you have, Jim, when you do these different events in various areas, what are the typical questions that you get, or the typical person that shows up? I know everybody's got a different story, but what typically do you see at these things?
Nowadays, it's basically the PACT Act, the law that President Biden signed in August of 2022. It expanded toxic exposures for veterans, going all the way back to Vietnam. Added a couple of new conditions to that list, widened out the area for that exposure to herbicides. The PACT Act mainly went after all the Desert Storm, Desert Shield, Afghanistan, OIF, EIF, and those veterans. There's a myriad of disabilities that came from those as well, mostly breathing stuff. This act was born from the particulate and burn pits. They just consolidated it all together, named after Sergeant First Class Robinson, who basically bugged Congress until they passed this law.
And this is open, Jim, to any veteran, right? I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be a veteran that served in combat. As long as you're a veteran, you're welcome to attend this thing. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Any veteran.
All right. Is there if people need more information about it prior to the event, a website or Facebook or a number or something that people could call if they just have any questions about your particular event?
We have a website. It's www.veterans.wv.gov. On there, it'll have an office locator that you can find an office that's closer to you. My office is out in South Charleston, out on the corridor. We have 15 field offices across the state. So, I mean, if you're going away somewhere else, you have a resource to reach out to.
Okay. And this event, give us the hours again on Saturday.
It's 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., Living Memorial Park,
mm-hmm.
2nd Avenue between 21st and 19th Street.
And the weather looks fantastic for Saturday, but things change, as we know, so I understand that you do plan to, if something were to happen, you're still going to have the event, you'll just move it indoors, but looking at the weather, I don't think that's going to be an issue. Jim Lewis is the regional supervisor with the West Virginia Department of Veterans Assistance. I appreciate you being here. Good luck with your event on Saturday, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live brought to you in part by Pinnacle Consultants. Their lead paint inspection and risk assessment services are designed to identify and to assess the presence of lead-based paint in buildings and other structures using a 3-phase approach of inspection, sampling, and lab analysis, and an assessment report. Visit pinnaclecorp.net because what you don't know can't hurt you. As I said, and you've heard me on the show in the past talk about, I don't get serious about a whole lot. Even the most, I can find humor in the most situations when I probably shouldn't from time to time. But anything I can ever do to help veterans, I'm all about it. I did not serve in the military. My father did. He passed away mainly because of Agent Orange that he contracted while serving his country in Vietnam. So anytime anybody ever reaches out to me with anything veteran-related, I am 100% all about it. And I know my listeners are too. So if you know anybody, you know a veteran that's got any questions, they got concerns about everything from their benefits, or they just have some questions, and as Jim said, there's already several people that they know are coming. This event, again, is going to be starting at 10 a.m. They'll go to about 1, but as he said, feel free to keep them there late, and it's in Nitro at the park there at the Living Memorial Park between 21st and 19th Streets in Nitro. Text says, push and coop on together. Talk about a heavy lift. Geez, I don't really know what that means. And somebody sent me a text of documents. I can't read documents on the air, but I can read the top part of it. I'm sorry, I apologize. I just saw the top part. So it says the ban on ATVs on county roads been lifted. That was passed in May of 2004. I don't know what the status is of those in Kanawha County. I know what they are in some other areas. I don't know about Kanawha County, or that could be a state issue. I'll look into it. How does that sound? And I will get back to you. The impact of Special Olympics extends far beyond the athletes themselves. Volunteers and supporters, touched by the unwavering determination of these extraordinary individuals, find immeasurable fulfillment in their involvement. The inclusive approach embraced by Special Olympics fosters an environment where everyone plays a vital role. West Virginia Enriched, in collaboration with Huntington, invites you to witness the transformative power of Special Olympics. See a video highlighting the Special Olympics at facebook.com/580WCHS. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Vitaylor, text 304-935-5008. Going to take the break a little bit early. When we come back, I'm going to be joined by some folks because we've all seen the devastation that has been wrought by the hurricane. Specifically, it seems like in Western Carolina, that seems to be the area that's been hardest hit. I will kind of take a little side note here and say it is Marshall's homecoming this week, and they're playing their old rivals from the Southern Conference, Appalachian State. Coach Huff had some great remarks I heard in the morning news this morning about that, saying that they had reached out to Appalachian State to see if they still wanted to play the game, and they said, yeah, we kind of want to get our minds off things. So the game is being played. But anyway, so some of our restaurant folks are trying to get together and trying to help out the hurricane victims. We're going to talk to them when we come back right after this. So the voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Looking for an opportunity in orthopedics, wellness, and athletic care? If so, Generations Physical Therapy is offering flexible work hours and an upbeat atmosphere. With 7 convenient locations, Generations may have a job designed for you. Visit generationspt.com.
Dreaming of updating your home's interior? Let the expert design team at Nitro Carpet and Design Center bring your vision to life. Whether you're looking to revamp your kitchen or bathroom with new cabinets, countertops, and appliances, or you're interested in transforming your floors with updated carpet, tile, hardwood, or luxury vinyl tile, Nitro Carpet Outlet has everything you need. For sales and installation, visit Nitro Carpet today and see how they can help turn your home into a showstopper that'll impress your friends and family. Conveniently located just off the Cross Lanes exit.
Get your favorite Metro News shows and live events on your smart television or streaming device now by downloading the Metro News television app for free. Watch Talkline with Hoppy Kercheval, Sportsline with Tony Caridi, Three Guys Before the Game, and lots of original content with more being added weekly. Get the Metro News television app from the Apple App Store or Google Marketplace. Metro News Television is powered by WVU Medicine, the West Virginia Department of Tourism, and Dan Cabot Toyota.
Biggly Piggly Wiggly on Spring Street has served 3 generations of shoppers since 1955 as the largest locally owned independent grocery store in the area. The Joseph family owners grew up here, so you know they're invested in the community. They provide the biggest variety of choice meats, the freshest produce, an in-house deli bakery, great wine selection, and more of your favorite brands. Every purchase gives you gasoline points so you can save at our pumps. Order online for pickup at BigglyPigglyWiggly.com. Biggly Piggly Wiggly on Spring Street. No one beats the pig.
Thank you to our Hurricane High School broadcast boosters, Parmar Stores, Peyton Law Firm, Putnam County Bank, Vital Flow, Rivers Health, Putnam County CVB, and Generations Physical Therapy.
Ten minutes away from 10, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you by Brightway Insurance and Mays Agency. Spend time on your business, not your insurance. Brightway Insurance and Mays Agency can help explain the type of insurance you need based on your line of business, your location, and other important factors. They can select different insurance companies to make sure you're getting the right coverages and prices to protect your business. For more, visit brightwaymays.com. All right, so we've all seen, and it just continue to see, the devastation that was wrought by the hurricane last week, particularly as it has impacted areas of of Western North Carolina, and so many folks around the state, around the country, are pitching in to try to help. And of course, West Virginians, that's what we do. And I will get a plug in that I know our guys and gals, our brethren up in Morgantown have got a big event going on up there today. We've got information posted about it. I actually have that posted on my X, the artist formerly known as Twitter page. You can go check that out there. But in Charleston, what are we doing here in Charleston? Well, I know there's several churches that are doing things, but the restaurants downtown wanted to get involved in this. Kevin Madison's here. Kevin, good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. And you were with?
I'm Downtown Charleston Association,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm here to talk about, like you said, that's all we're seeing. We're seeing all the pictures. The damage is terrible, and a lot of us have personal connections.
Mm-hmm.
Our brewer over at Bad Shepherd with Black Sheep, his brother lives in Asheville. They're stranded on a hill.
I mean, literally, they're stranded on a hill.
And
Asheville's a city that I've spent some time in. As I always said about Asheville, I spent a week there one night.
Sure.
But Asheville is a really, really cool place. And I mean, it doesn't matter where it happens, but I mean, to see the devastation, as you said, literally stranded on a hill.
On a hill, no power, no water,
no internet,
no electricity, no internet,
no nothing.
You got to turn your car on to charge your phone. Once a day. It's crazy, and Asheville's been known as a big arts community.
Yeah.
Of several breweries. All of those breweries are closed indefinitely at this time. So there's a lot of us that are coming together to try to raise some funds and supplies and things of that nature. But I think Kelly has more of a personal connection.
Yeah, I got Kelly Cart here with us. How are you, Kelly?
I'm doing great, thanks. Thanks for having us.
I was joking with you earlier during the break. I said, "Now, have you been behind a microphone before?" Because people
not in a while,
not in a while, but people do remember you from your television stint
not
here.
in about 3 years. But I think a little probably maybe a not so well known fact is that my husband and I own and operate several restaurants along with his business partner, Dave Andrews. 3 of them being downtown. So. We have Bar 101, Ichiban, and DT Prime. And like Kevin was saying, we all seem to have, we can all relate to these images that we're seeing and the heartbreak. And a lot of us have personal connections. My husband and I actually got married in Burnsville, which is one of the little tiny towns in western North Carolina that was just decimated. And the images are very difficult to see. But our wedding anniversary is actually this weekend.
Oh, really?
So, I mean, it just the timing works out. But his parents have a place there. We go down probably 4 times a year, or maybe 5 times, as often as we can get down because we just love it down there. So, it will never be the same. But we were so saddened by it. But we were also, like so many people, wanting to know what we can do to help.
So what exactly are we doing? I know that you said the restaurants are wanting to get involved. Give us the details, man. Exactly what's going on.
Yes. So yesterday, we've got some amazing brewery partners here in Charleston. 5 Street Brewing. They posted they're going to be donating 15% of their proceeds on Saturday, and I reached out to John Q, as we know him here in downtown Charleston.
Mm-hmm.
I said, hey, man, can we get involved in this? And he's like, yeah. I said, you don't care. I don't want to take your event. And he's like, no, man, we need to get these people some money. So now the list has grown to 5th Street, Black Sheep Brewed and Brews, Ichiban, DT Prime, Adelphia Sports Bar, Hale House, all of these businesses, and this list is going to grow.
Oh, sure.
And we'll update it.
This literally just came together like 10 minutes ago or something.
Yesterday. But, I've lived in West Virginia for 13 years, and when people need help, we help our neighbors. Just, when we had those devastating floods, several years ago, people were here to help us. So, it's our time now. But like I said, all of those locations, they're going to donate 15% of their sales
on Saturday. Okay.
On Saturday, all day Saturday at all these restaurants or bars, to go to 2 organizations in that area. One being Mercy Chefs, and Mercy Chefs is a nonprofit based out of Portsmouth, Virginia, and they go and set up these mobile kitchens and provide restaurant quality meals for up to 20,000 people a day, and that's the victims, your first responders, your volunteers, those people out there on the ground, and again, the ones that have been displaced in shelters. But they're going to feed up to 20,000 people every day, and they're there long term. So the money's going to go to them. You can go to mercychefs.com. There's a donation link if you can't go dine out in downtown Charleston on Saturday. It doesn't take but 2 seconds to log on and check out what they do on a daily basis and donate to them. Another important organization, it's a Brother Wolf Animal Rescue. That is an animal shelter in Asheville. They lost 100% of their physical assets. 100%. They have nothing. The buildings are destroyed. Fortunately, I am happy to report all of the animals were evacuated prior to the storm, so no animals were lost. But
that was going to be because people that know me know I don't like people that much, but I love animals. And I was about to say, if you say that these animals, I mean, it's tragic enough anyway, but the animals were saved.
And all the animals were saved at that. And you can go to BWAR.com. That stands for Brother Wolf Animal Rescue. There's a donation link there. They're trying to do random updates as they can, but again, there's limited internet and Wi-Fi. I mean, you see the pictures. People had to leave some of their animals behind, and the floodwaters were up to the middle of their bodies, and it's heartbreaking. And like you said, you don't like people, or
but
I mean, we're an avid animal lover, so
it's tragic for people that lost. I mean, obviously lost lives, but also that lost everything that they've worked for. And it's something that we may not know about hurricanes here in West Virginia, but we do know about flooding. Every couple of years, it seems like we get something in some part of the state.
If you think about it, our big flood happened in 2016. We're still recovering. I just went to the grand opening of Clendenin Elementary School before the school year started, so 8 years later. So we know that this is going to be a long process, but to get people, off the ground and to get started, it's such a daunting task, and I think you look at it and you feel a little bit hopeless, but I think everyone just wants to help in some way. And
I think by doing this interview, I think that's because most of the businesses downtown are listening, so that means that others are going to want to get involved. Maybe even some that aren't necessarily restaurants.
Sure,
I mean, everybody could get involved.
Come on. Like, sure, absolutely. Really quick, also, through Josh McGrath and Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate Central, we've got a semi-truck to fill. So all of their Better Home and Garden Real Estate Central locations. That's hard to say.
Yeah,
that's hard to say.
Just say all Josh's places.
Yeah, all Josh's places are going to be donating, or they're accepting cash donations. They're also accepting, bottled water, non-perishable items, cleaning supplies, things of that nature, to fill that semi. We've also said Black Sheep has space. We'll be collecting supplies. If you would like to donate cash, you're more than welcome to. I would rather have the supplies there to fill that semi-truck. Or, like I said, just make a donation to one of those two organizations.
Let's talk about the restaurants again that are involved. The ones as of now, as of 9:58 this morning, that are involved.
As of 9:58 this morning, we've got 5th Street Brewing, Black Sheep Burrito and Brews. We've got Ichiban. We have DT Prime, Adelphia Sports Bar and Grill, Hale House. And the list is going to grow.
Yeah, it's going to grow. And again, if you dine in those places anytime on Saturday, and I will say this, I know there's a lot of events going on in the area this weekend. I'm going to be Saturday afternoon at the Fall Y'all Chili Contest in St. Albans. Rough gig. I have to go judge chili. Thank you, Steve Animal, for that. But afterwards, if you're going out to any of these events that are going on in the area, and there are a ton, make your way downtown at some point, because this is going to be going on all day. The weather is going to be fantastic, they tell us on Saturday. Not too hot, no rain or anything like that. So get downtown and patronize these businesses, as you mentioned, all those. Guys, I appreciate you being here. Give us the two organizations again and the websites as we close, Kevin.
Mercy Chefs, that's mercychefs.com. And then we've got Brother Wolf Animal Rescue, which is BWAR.com. If you are a local restaurant or business that you want to be added to this list, please email me at k.madison@downtowncwv.com.
All right. Callie and Kevin, the KK Show. I appreciate you being here, guys. Thanks a lot. It was kind of short notice to get you in here, but we got you in here on what was a loaded up show. Again, I'm going to be off tomorrow. Coop is in the air chair. I will be back in on Monday. And we'll see you then. Download the all-new WV Metro News TV app and the WVRC Media app from our producer, Ryan Nicholson. Thank you so much. Till next time, have fun and love somebody.
580 WCHS AM, 96.5 FM Charleston, and 104.5 Cross Lanes.
A WVRC media station.
We're proud to live here, too.